Hey everyone, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. On today's show, I got Josh Metellus, Vikings safety, University of Michigan grad as well. So Gopher fans, Vikings fans, Big Ten football fans, you're not going to want to miss this one. Stay tuned.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now the Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
And now hanging with the Ron Johnson segment, we got Josh Metellus, former Big Ten. So, I had to get a Big Ten player in here. We got a little Big Ten over the SEC. We had, I've had Justin Jefferson. I've talked to Adam Thielen, Mankato State. But, we got to get the Big Ten guys in here, man. Cam Bynum was Cal, so we got a Pac. I don't even know if the Pac-12 or Pac-10 still exists. They're about to go under. But we got a Big Ten guy in here, man. So I got to start there. Josh Metellus, thanks for joining me on the Ron Johnson Show. Let's jump out there, man. Like right now in the Big Ten, and I've asked a lot of players this, from, like I said, from Cam Bynum to Spice Adams to whoever. Penn State was one of, and you're too young to remember this, but when I played, Penn State was new to the Big Ten. And now all of a sudden you're going to have USC and UCLA join the Big Ten. Like, when you saw that, what are your thoughts on that when you saw that?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, for one California team, all I'm thinking is traveling wise. I'm like, that's gonna be a lot of traveling for both sides, for every team that's in the Midwest, and then the two Cali teams or the two out West teams. But I mean, if they think they can hang, because the talk has always been like, the Pac-12 hasn't played that same football as the Big Ten and the SEC. So if they think they can hang, we welcoming it. I'm happy I ain't got to go way out to LA to go play a team like that. But I think it's good that they're expanding though. I think the Big Ten needs some more teams that is at least looked at as powerhouses, because for some reason we top to bottom we I think we're the deepest conference by far, but they never talk about that. So adding some more depth.
Yeah, looking at Big Ten, man, Michigan, Blake Corum. Running back in Michigan, one of the best in the Big Ten. He's got a lot of money, though, outside of football already with the NIL set up. If you were to put yourself back in college sports, what companies would you want to kind of do business with from an NIL standpoint?
Food, for sure. Because that way you in college, you ain't got to spend your money on food. So any food company that wanted to do a deal with me, I would have did that. Probably a car as well, because I need a whip. Got to have a car. I seen a lot of as an O lineman for Michigan. He's like a Ferrari deal or something like that. Expensive foreign car. I'm like, that's what I said. So I'm like, I would have definitely did one of those. A candy deal, because I'm obsessed with candy. Probably like like some high chews or something that you could have all day and just snack on. I would have dabbled in whatever came my way, to be honest. I would have took advantage of that.
You gotta have the food. I like that.
Yeah, I'm low-key a little bit sick. I ain't get to experience that, but it's all good.
So let's jump back into your college days. You were a standout player at Michigan. Michigan State, that's coming up this week. I saw TJ Duckett just posted that they don't like y'all don't like them. We all remember the Devin White, stepping on the Michigan State. And I'm from Detroit, so I went to King High School, so I visited both Michigan and Michigan State. I ended up picking over Penn State. I had to pick at Minnesota just because I knew I could play as a freshman here. But when you look at Michigan State and that rivalry, what are some of your best memories of that?
Best memories, I remember one year we played them out there. My best friend growing up, best friend on the team as well, Devin Bush, scraped up their sideline. Scraped up their logo.
So you were part of that. You were part of that.
Yeah, and that was one of my favorite moments, because then I think we had one of our best defensive games that year. I don't think they got a third down conversion. I think they barely got past the 50 all game. So that was just a good moment, and we beat them at at their home. So it was good. We beat them in East Lansing. So yeah, I think that was one of my favorite moments of the rivalry. But I mean, it was always chippy. A lot of trash talk going on. A lot of players getting into it. I
Yeah.
just think it was just it was a college atmosphere. What you would expect from two college teams in the same state.
And, I mean, take us back to that day though. Like, I mean, everybody remembers Devin White doing it. Michigan State does the arm hold as they're coming out. Michigan players are already on the field warming up. A little talk goes back and forth, and it reminds me of King Cass, so I understand that. I hate the green and white as well, so I'm with you on that one. But in that moment when he started like tearing the field apart, Michigan State players start coming over there trying to fight. Like, what was going through everybody's head in that moment?
Let's get the game started now, because now blood pumping. Like they just broke us apart. We thinking like we gotta go, fight back. Our brother in the middle of that whole situation. We think we gotta go help them. And then I don't know if you noticed, but it was a rain delay. So we get all pumped up, riled up. They send everybody to the locker room and rain delay. So now we sitting here for like an hour, blood boiling still. Like, damn, we can't wait to get out there. Like now we now we got some people not as mad, not kind of like,
Right.
but it was like, I don't know. It was definitely a bunch of emotions going up and down. But I think we got pretty settled before the game. I think the rain delay kind of helped, because I think we would have went out there and tried to do something that wasn't going to pertain to winning. So I think the rain delay saved us for real.
That's like Mother Nature,
first,
man. That's a true mother sending y'all to y'all room for a little bit to calm down, and then let's get y'all back together. But now, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, because at first I wasn't even on the field. I was in the locker room getting ready to go out to the field, and I heard that they were walking, like a group of them, like the whole team walking the line holding hands, and then that's when I started to make my way out. But yeah, I was just like that whole situation was just had my blood boiling. At least to say, I know for sure I was blood boiling.
So let's go back to draft day. That whole weekend is a strenuous kind of, nerve wracking. I mean, I was drafted in the 4th round of the Baltimore Ravens. I was a 3rd round phone call, and then that trade happened with the Browns. And so it's one of those things that you remember little moments. Like, what do you remember from that weekend, and then ended up a Minnesota Viking?
Key moments. I mean, I'll probably say I didn't speak to Minnesota that I would say that much throughout my draft process, but I do remember the day before the draft that I had one of the assistant coaches, contact me, and we spoke, and we had a real good talk. And I don't know why, for some reason, he stood out to me, even though I didn't think I would get drafted by Minnesota, just because I haven't had too many talks with him leading up to that point. Another moment that really stood out that weekend. I mean, just watching all my boys get drafted. I just took pride in knowing that playing in the Big Ten, playing at Michigan. We had a lot of guys league ready. It was just good to see everybody happy with their family. It was COVID time too, so it was just a lot of stuff going on. So it was just good to see the smiles on people's faces in the dark time in the world. But I mean, I think for me, just thinking I wasn't gonna get called and then getting that call, I think that just made the weekend for me. Like, assuming everybody assuming they're gonna get drafted, but I'm a day 3 guy, and leading up to that day, it was just skeptical. Didn't know what was gonna happen, and to get that call, that really made my life.
And let's talk about this defensive change. You look at the coaches, like you said, a new voice in this new 3-4 scheme, new coverage, new everything. What's that been like from the voice, the new voices of coaches kind of, getting you guys where you're supposed to be?
It's been great. It's been great. I think the shift in the locker room has definitely shown, especially with the results we've been able to put in throughout these first 7 weeks. But just the new voices, I think just the confidence we're building in each other and the connections we're building in this building right now is something special. And these coaches have a lot to do with that. These new voices have a lot to do with that. And I think as a team and as players, we really rely on the fact that our coaches are our leaders, are speaking the right things to us.
And so, speaking of the leaders, Harrison Smith, He's one of the best safeties in the league. He's going to go down as one of the best safeties in Vikings history and NFL history. You talk about interceptions. What have you learned from having Harrison Smith as a mentor?
I've learned a lot. I would say my game these past 3 years has definitely jumped a lot, and that's a test to Harrison Smith and the way he carries himself, the way he just approaches every week, every practice, every game. I think that it sheds off to everybody else in the room. I know me coming in when I found out I was getting drafted by the Vikings, first thing I thought about was Harrison Smith. And, to actually get around him and see how great of a guy he is on and off the field, I think it's just been, I've been feeding off of it. And, the more time I get with him, the more I feel like I'm just going to better my game. I'm just excited to be playing with him. Guys like Pat Pete too, like guys like that you learn a lot from, guys who played a lot of football. So, it's definitely great having that type of player, not only that type of player, that type of teammate in the locker room.
And I'm going to take you back, way back. I don't know if you remember this, preseason. I just looked up a tweet because I always like to see when I tweet about players because I did cover you. I do a lot of stuff for Vikings.com. So when the draft happens, myself and Gabe Henderson, we do a lot of back and forth videos for Vikings.com. So I know when they drafted you, I was high up on that because of the Big Ten. I love Big Ten players. I think you're right. I think a lot of Big Ten players come in NFL ready, as well as SEC. I mean, I think both Big Ten and SEC players kind of come in Big Ten ready from beating each other up all season, and then you get into the Big Ten or into the NFL, and you're like, okay, it's faster, but strategically, strength-wise, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about that. And then, so let's go back to the preseason, though. So before I jump into your special teams, because you've had some big plays this year on defense and special teams, but preseason against the Raiders, there was a play where a ball, like you should have interception preseason, ball hit you in the chest. Right before the half. I said, because, last year before half, the Vikings defense struggled. This year, the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Kirk Cousins is the number one quarterback in the NFL, and the defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. And so you had a chance on the preseason, doesn't matter, we know that, but you had a chance to get a pick, and it hit you in the chest. Like, did that go back through your head? Like, man, if this ever happens again, I cannot drop this ball.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just any chance you get to make a play on defense, if you don't make that play, that's going through your head, especially throughout the whole season. So yeah, I mean, when I was in that spot, I definitely tried to take the most and take advantage of my opportunities because they don't come too often, especially playing DB. You never know when is going to be your time, so you just got to make the most out of those opportunities.
Yeah, and talking about making the most of those opportunities, you and your DBs have two of the best receivers in the NFL, Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. What is that like in practice with those battles, trying to figure out whether you have a cloud coverage over the top to help, whether you're going to have to come down in the box and cover one of them in a slot? What is that like day in and day out working against two of the best receivers in the league?
It's great. I mean, as a DB, you want guys like that to go against and sharpen your craft, sharpen your tools, and going against, especially just the combo of what those guys bring to the team. Jet, he's quick, but he's not only quick, he's fast. You got Thielen, who's a technician. So you get the best of both worlds. And, those guys love to compete. So, you're going to get their best all the time. They give you little tidbits on what you should do. We just get each other better. And, it shows on Sundays.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump into the Daily 3 in a minute. But before we do that, make sure you guys check out the Minnesota Football Party on Mondays and Thursdays. Get your Vikings fix with Arif Hassan, Luke Inman, Luke Braun, and Sam Ekstrom on Locked On Sports Minnesota. We have a word from our sponsors.
BetOnline.net, your number one source for football betting and basketball betting as the NBA season gets underway. Find all the latest player developments and team matchups, including Vikings-Cardinals. Vikings favored by 3.5 heading into that game. They started out at 5, so people are backing the Cardinals. And as always, BetOnline remains your continued source for all sports wagering information with up-to-the-minute scores for every sport out there. Head to their website today to get the latest or check out your mobile device. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right, so here we go, Josh. This is the Daily 3. It's 3 questions, 3 minutes. So it's real quick and easy. It's going to be a clock that's going to pop up. You got 3 minutes. You can take, the whole time if you want. If you stop early, I'll fill in and kind of give you my thoughts on it because I'm an Avengers guy too. Like, I watch them all. Some of the college stuff I'm going to ask you, I have responses as well about coaches and stuff. So it's kind of like a little fun game we play on the show. And so here we go. First question, as I asked you already before, you're an Avengers guy. If you were an Avenger,
Yes,
who would you be? Or Marvel comic, you could be a Guardian of the Galaxy, whatever. Who would you be? And then, knowing Thanos was coming back, you had to grab 3 of your teammates, and they had to embody an Avenger or Marvel Comics character. Who would those 3 teammates be, and who would they be?
Good question. I like that. First off, for me, I would say I got 2. I was a big Hulk guy growing up.
Okay.
Big Hulk guy. But I'm also a fan of Spider-Man. And
Okay.
I would say, so if I had to bring my teammates with me, I'll say I'll be Spider-Man, so that way we could let one of the bigger guys be Hulk. So I'll let Daniil Hunter, great Hulk. He'll be a great Hulk.
Okay.
No question. He built like him, everything. So we'll give that to Daniil Hunter. He's coming with me. Iron Man, we'll give that to we'll give Iron Man. Who will give Iron Man to? Actually, let's pick somebody else. I'll say let's pick Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith to be my Captain America.
Okay.
For sure. Our leader. Then I'll have Iron Man. I'm picking 3 people to bring with me. So this is my last one.
Yep.
Iron Man.
You got another one,
say
though. You can bring another one too.
Adam
Thielelen's
Thielen
Iron
could
Man.
be our Iron Man.
And who else? And let's throw a bonus one in there. Who else would you bring? Because you sound like you got somebody else in mind.
No, we're good. We're good there.
You good with that? Okay.
That's
Because like for me, I like that. I like that. For me, I know before I always had Kirk Cousins for some reason as Captain America, because of like some of the scenes where Captain America like finally curses and everybody's like, wait a minute, did you just curse? and they made fun of him for like the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So I do like Kirk Cousins as Captain America, because I actually had Harrison Smith as Hawkeye. Like Harrison Smith sitting up, I feel like, because he, you know what I mean, like he's sneaky, he dresses in black, he wants to sit up in a on top of somewhere. Yeah, exactly. And just kind of real laid back. I'd have to say,
I'm pretty sure, because Hawkeye got his house was in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty
exactly.
Sure,
yep.
Back in his off-season home, he got like a little however many acres with his house sitting probably in the middle of nowhere doing yard work.
Exactly.
So probably same thing. Yeah. Like
they had no idea, no idea he's got a wife and kids. Like that's Harrison for you. Yeah. Like all of a sudden his wife pop up, she pregnant, they got a baby. Like, dude, when did this happen? Like
already had kids.
And I'm gonna go Kwesi though as Nick Fury. Like Kwesi would be Nick Fury behind the scenes, putting it. Yeah, exactly, putting it all together. Yep. So that's the group I'm putting together. But I mean, I could talk Avengers all day. But we got to move on to the next one. Next question. So you already kind of gave me your favorite college moment, because I'm going to go to Michigan State. I'm going to switch this up a little bit, a little audible, a little Omaha. I did coach for the Colts, so I know when Peyton would do this. A little Omaha for you. If you had to go back and look at like Coach Harbaugh, for instance, at Michigan, or, or your DB coach there, but Coach Harbaugh, like what advice or kind of team speech has Harbaugh given that you have like kept with you?
I would say this one thing that he says is, I mean, it doesn't pertain too much to football, but just something that he said that stuck with me. He used to always talk about how the days are long, but the years are short. And that's just a quote that's just always been, going through my head these past years. I've since I met Harbaugh, that was like almost 8 years ago, so it's just crazy to see I'm that far removed from that situation I was in my life, being college student, athlete, and that just always stuck with me, because it is true, in my opinion. The days are long, but the years are short.
Yeah, man, because it's going by fast. Like I know, like for you, you're like, man, my rookie year went fast, and now all of a sudden, now into my NFL career is going fast. So yeah, so life does go fast, man. Like it's so I do like that one. And now let's fast forward to Kevin O'Connell. He is here. He is the new voice of the Vikings, the new coach. He's the new, he's bringing the connector is what they call him, trying to be the connected guy within this. What are some like locker room speeches or things he said or advice he's giving you guys as a head coach? Because I'll say like Tony Dungy, when I was on his staff, I used to love his speeches to the players. And I had, I'm having Reggie Wayne on. We're going to have Pierre Garçon on, Santana Moss. And they all kind of remember some of those speeches. But Tony would always tell players, like, if you got to do some stuff. So, like one guy asked about a bulletproof vest. He's like, if you got to wear a bulletproof vest, I don't know who you're hanging out with, but you're not going to make it long. Like Tony would always kind of have a funny, but like a kind of a truth to it. And so we used to love that as a staff, just to see him embody what he put in his books. But if you look at Kevin O'Connell, what are some things he's kind of told you guys early on that you're like, man, I get it, coach?
I would say, our team motto is our way, our team, our process. And I think that relates a lot to just the team we are. Like, we're very complementary team. Like, we have special teams taking over when the offense, defense can't get stuff going, defense taking over when the offense or special teams can't get stuff going, offense taking over when the other two can't get stuff going. And, that's just like a testament to how we approach just being connected and knowing each other in and out. He preaches a lot about, getting to know each other and being able to trust somebody. When you're out here on this green grass or on this green turf, you need to be able to trust your teammates. We've been doing that a lot. He's been stressing that a lot. And, I think it's been boding well for us this season. I mean, it's showing right now. I think the closer we get and the more great things we're going to be able to do throughout this season. So him just, keeping us together and always letting us know that we're always leaning on each other. I think that's a big thing he does.
I love that. That's dope. That's dope right there. So if you think about this last one, fun one, Kirk Cousins to me has come out of his shell. Like, I feel like Kirk Cousins is a little bit more relaxed. He's having fun. He's allowing guys to like post stuff about him on social media. He's not really protecting his, Kirk Cousins, like, okay, I can't say anything to get in trouble. I can't do anything that might look weird on social media. Like, he's just having fun, like throwing the diamond chains on. I don't think Kirk would have done that 3 years ago. Like, I don't feel like he would have felt comfortable. What is a great memory or like thing? What's your best thing you love about Kirk Cousins on the field that's happened this year and off the field?
Mm-hmm. I would say, Kirk's a great guy. I mean, I've had multiple conversations with Kirk. He's the type of guy, go around, sit with anybody, at breakfast or at lunch, to get to know him, get to know his teammates. But, I would say a great moment from Kirk, his leadership on the field. For instance, we go out to London, we playing not our best ball. And, we need our offense to come through and get us a score so we can win this game. Kirk leads us. He takes us down. We score a touchdown. We're up. Defense makes some plays. We end up winning the game. And then I guess off the field, just seeing his openness come out, same game, same trip. We go back on the plane. Kirk puts on everybody's chain. He's smiling. He's getting into it with the guys. That just shows you the type of, person he's grown into, like you said, he's definitely been opening up more. We've been loving that out of Kirk.
Yeah, I'd say everybody needs to just put up like $100, everybody on the team, and go get Kirk like his own little diamond chain. It ain't got to be nothing big. A little small, little diamond, a little small 8 or something. So something for Christmas. That's $100. That's like $50. That's like $5,300 total. That'd be a nice little,
He'll probably keep that in the locker room. He'll probably keep it in the locker room. He probably won't take it home.
He's got to take it home. He's got to take it home and wear it to the mall. Like, just feel it. But last one, when you talked about that, about Kirk Cousins and all the things you're doing with the team and, looking at the travel and the plane and all that stuff, as a guy like Kirk Cousins, when he starts to do that stuff, do you now feel like you said, he has conversations now with people in the lunch, or he's been doing it though. He's always been that guy, but having conversations with guys in lunch, like, are you seeing everybody as a team kind of rallying around that as well and just trying to get to know each other?
100%. And I think that's a lot to do with, like I said, Kevin O'Connell and this coaching staff. They want us to know each other, and they want us to be, from the coaching staff to the players, all know each other. So yeah, I definitely think that's been going throughout the whole team.
And I know Coach Keys, Coach Derek Keys as well. Like, when the strength coach, it's never your last one. So I'm a strength coach you. I got one bonus one for you. When you and Kirk Cousins, because he's a Michigan State guy, you're a Michigan guy. Have you guys even talked about that yet, that this is Michigan State, Michigan week?
Yeah. We've talked about it. Though the thing with me and Kirk, when he was at Michigan State, they was 4-0. When I was at Michigan, we were 3-1. So like, our times, we really didn't. It wasn't really too much, back and forth. So like, we respect each other in that way. Like you had your time, I had my time. Let that be bygones. We're teammates now. But me and guy like Kenny, since we played against each other, Tristan Jackson, Speedy. I played against those guys, so it's different when it's kind of like we we talking to each other. We saying our whatever about the game. So yeah, it's different with those guys.
Okay, well, you got to get Tristan. If they lose, you got to get Tristan Jackson to put that Michigan jersey on because I'm pretty sure you got some up your sleeve. But I want to thank Josh Metellus for joining me on the Ron Johnson Show today.
And folks, let me take a moment to tell you about Built Bar, which continues to be one of the great nutritional treats that you can enjoy every single day. You need a little boost? Get some toffee almond, some German chocolate cake, mud pie Built Bar, salted caramel, double chocolate, or pumpkin pie puff with that marshmallowy center. It's so good, made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently. They've got like 15, 16, 17 grams of protein, depending on the bar, and only around 150 calories. So it's good and good for you. Amazing flavors, 100% real chocolate, Built Bar. And you can get them 15% off at Built.com. Just use the promo code LOCKEDON15. That's promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your order at Built.com.
And remember, like, comment, and share. Let us know what you think. Is Kirk Cousins a diamond chain guy? If they get him one, will he wear it or will he leave in the locker room? Also, the connector, Kevin O'Connell. Is Josh right? Are these life lessons helping this team move forward? Or is this just a team that's finally evolving and working under a new leader in Kirk Cousins? Also, if you're an Avengers fan, let us know what you think about that. Did he have solid picks? Is he Spider-Man? Is he Iron Man? Harrison Smith. Was I right on that? Is he Hawkeye? I don't know. You guys let me know. But remember, you can now find Locked On Sports Minnesota on the Amazon Fire and Roku apps. You can download the Locked On Sports Minnesota app to get all your favorite shows. Thank you. Have a great day.